Well, good morning. Welcome to our Tuesday morning thought for today. This week we're looking at the use of the word lamp or the lamp in God's word in the Bible, and some in the Old Testament, some in the New Testament. And we thought yesterday, as we thought about on Sunday, the idea of when we invite Christ into our life, when we open up our lives so that Christ comes in, there's that sense that then we ourselves have to become lights in the darkness. And we know that that's one of the jobs, if you like, part of our job description as a follower of Jesus is to shine like lights in the darkness, in the dark world around us. And so we're thinking about the idea of allowing this light to shine from us. In many ways, as we receive Christ, who is the lamp of God, the light of the world into our lives, our job then is to share that light, the light of Christ, with those around us. Now that can be done in so many different ways. It can be done very simply in the way that we conduct ourselves. If we're in business, we can show ourselves to be different. We can do it in the way we treat other people. It can be done in the language we use. It can be done in the way we spend our time, the way other people see us spending our time. It can be done by us quietly, even just referencing the point that, yesterday I was watching our thought for the day. I was watching our online service. You used to be able to say yesterday when I was at church, and God willing we'll say that again in the near future. But this idea of just allowing our light to shine, now, that can be very scary for some people because we've seen how the world treats Christians, and sometimes Christians are not treated very well. We know that because Christ was persecuted, he says we also should expect to be. This is also something that goes with as part of our job description. But there's this lovely verse. Maybe you've read it and maybe you've thought about it. Maybe you haven't read it and maybe skimmed over it, as so often happens. But it's taken from John chapter 5, where Jesus says, "John was a lamp that burned and gave light, and you chose for a time to enjoy his light." That's a reference to John the Baptist, where John was this lamp that he's referred to here, that he was burning bright, that people came to hear him and to hear what he had to say. And there's this beautiful picture of his light burning brightly. Now, it didn't burn brightly for a long time. We know that John was executed, and that's a whole other story. But that he was credited with being a light that shone for the gospel. John was a lamp that burned and gave light. I wonder when people look back on our lives, when people assess us at some point, and when I've spoken about this before, when you do funerals, so often you hear people paying tribute to the deceased, and they would talk about them in very positive terms, and it's lovely to hear people say that about them. But I wonder, we can't fast forward and see what people are going to say at our funeral. We have to trust they're going to be nice to us whenever we go. But will they have things to say that are honest and true? And will they be able to say about us that we burned brightly and that we gave off the light of Christ? I wonder, will they be nice if they say that? Or will they be honest and say, he was okay, he was lukewarm, his faith came and went, his faith maybe every now and then ignited into a small fire and people saw it, and he didn't burn constantly, or the light wasn't always there. It's not too late for that to change. It's not too late for us to rewrite what people will say about us. Not that it's necessarily about us, but wouldn't it be nice if people, above all else, were able to say about us, his or her faith burned brightly and they gave off the wonderful light of Jesus Christ? That's something for us to think about, isn't it? John the Baptist had it said about him. And part of me would love to have been able to watch John the Baptist and hear him and see the things he did, and the people flocking to hear what he had to say. He wasn't even claiming to be the Messiah. People they just couldn't help but come and hear what he had to say. And his faith burned brightly. So maybe this is a good day to start. If you are a follower of Jesus, if you call yourself a Christian, you should be burning for him. You should be like a beacon in the darkness. You should be giving off the light of Christ. The light of the world is within you, and therefore that light should be shining out to those around you. That's your thought for today. Burn bright for Christ before it's too late. God bless you. Have a good Tuesday, and we'll see you again tomorrow morning. Thank you. Goodbye.